even jump into that, I want to talk about a little bit about you and your background in business before starting Southern Crescent Women in Business.
So I'm a consultant by trade. We have a consulting firm that we started, I guess, maybe about 2015 or so. We started working with a healthcare enterprise to expand their footprint and really loved the fact of starting from just creating their business plan to then doing the ribbon cuttings. So we wanted to make sure we offered that to small businesses. And we also have federal experience and background and realize that in order to, especially when it relates to small businesses and some women-owned businesses, to really maximize their profits, we're a huge proponent of getting into the federal space. So that's a little bit about my background. I'm originally from Charleston, South Carolina. I've been in Georgia since maybe about 2007, 2008. And we just have a huge passion for assisting our small businesses.
Okay. So in doing your work with these other companies, it sounds like you saw a need there. So with Southern Crescent Women in Business, there you guys are a wealth of resources and information for the female-owned business. So tell us a little bit more about the initiative, what it's all about.
So Southern Crescent Women in Business, we started really maybe about 2.5 years ago. We wanted to create a professional network of women-owned businesses. The Southern Crescent is defined as a particular area south of Atlanta. Those areas are kind of what you call bedroom communities. They encompass Henry County, Clayton County, South DeKalb County, Fayette County. These are areas that have a group of women that really just wanted to make sure they had established networks in their own communities that did not, where they did not have to go to Atlanta or Buckhead or in the city, but basically be able to make sure they were pulling from their own network.
Okay. Okay. So what are some of the resources that you provide to the women that come to be a part of the Southern Crescent Women in Business?
So Southern Crescent Women, we have a few tenants. One of those tenants that we operate off of is educate, empower, we advocate, and we help fund women-owned businesses. So a part of just providing training every month, because we have virtual, we have in-person training, all to support women-owned businesses. We have a cohort that we have support from the Coca-Cola company. That's a 10-week cohort that walks women through from A to Z on starting a business. We've done a funding pitch every year where they have been able to come before a panel of judges and pretty much determine, or pretty much communicate, I should say, why we should support them and why we should fund them. So it's been, and we also advocate. So we work a lot with our legislators. We have drafted legislation that's actually been drafted, and it's been a bill with the state of Georgia. It has not gone on the floor for a vote yet, but for the past 2 years, we have pretty much pushed an initiative to support investing in women-owned businesses. So we have a huge amount of resources. We do a lot of work with and calls with the SBA. We have a lot of partners, whether it's through banking, whether it's through CDFIs, whether it's training on marketing, training on professional development. It's a wide range.
Okay, so it definitely sounds pretty full service. So, and I noticed in looking at the members, you have women from different types of businesses, different types of backgrounds, which I love. So, and I noticed also that there's a commendation from the governor which is pretty huge. So that's pretty major. So can you see yourself maybe expanding outside of Georgia? Because these are resources that can be used by, women everywhere.
So technically, during the pandemic, what we saw, especially during this virtual phase that we were in, is so the model of the business was not physically having to leave a particular area or geographic area. But with the pandemic, of course, we were online. So when we're talking to the US Small Business Administration, that is applicable to anybody basically in the United States. So we were pulling people from Chicago, from South Carolina, everywhere. I'm originally from South Carolina, so that was kind of natural. But I mean, when we look at where some of the calls were coming, we had to remember to say Eastern Standard Time because we forgot, there's a whole people were calling from the west side, and I'm like, oh my God, it was things that we weren't expecting. So with that was birth an associate level membership, which means you can be a member of the organization if you're out of the state, if you want to just stay plugged in. It's a lower level membership because technically we have 3 levels of membership. Well, several actually, but 3 main levels of membership. You do not have to be a member to get services from the organization, because we also created a women business center, which is actually separate from the membership. The center serves women in our geographic area, and some that are kind of not even in our geographic area. They're able to get service from the Women Business Center. They're able to call. We ask them to do an intake form so we can capture what they need. We host virtuals. We'll sit with them for 30 minutes to an hour. What do you need help with? We do mentoring Mondays. You do not have to be a member to take part in all of that. But
Wow.
that being said, again, our expansion kind of happened in this COVID phase where we shifted a lot of things online. And I mean, we've had people take training from Florida. I mean, it's just what it is. So, it's been a blessing in some instances, because we would have never even been thinking about that. So yeah.
And for you to, you started out with the intention of being in that area, but to be making that kind of that reach, it speaks volumes about, what you're offering to these business women. So if I were a business owner, as a female business owner, and I wanted to become a part of the organization, what would I do?
So a couple things. If you want to become a member, again, we have several levels of membership, and they're all laid out on the website, depending on how active you want to be, how much you want to be involved, and what you want from the membership. Again, you don't have to be a member to participate in events that we do unless it says exclusive. And you do not have to be a member to get services from the Women Business Center. So we love to have you. You typically fill out an application. That application is reviewed. We take several things into consideration, and I don't think we've had too many denials. But typically the women that come to actually join the organization, they're either already established businesses or they're at the beginning stages of their business. So we get a wide range. I mean, we have women that are affiliated with $800 million companies to women that are literally just starting. So the range is very wide, but that being said, the beauty of that is so we'll pull that $800 million company and maybe have them be a part of a mentor Monday to talk to those people who are just starting. And that's where I think the benefit comes from. Um,
Yeah.
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 That's, that's some great company to be in. If you're a new business starting, if you can learn from someone that's built that kind of a business, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So if you have a couple of nuggets, since you've touched on so many businesses, since you're, in that atmosphere all the time, what are a couple of nuggets that you would give to the female business owner that's starting and she's like, oh my God, what do I do? Where do I start?
So I just say start. So what I have found with women is we are in our head a lot. We are in our head way more than men. Men will go for it and have half of the credentials that a woman has and do it confidently. So women tend to short themselves, to be honest with you. You see it reflects in how they present themselves sometime, and it reflects in their pricing. And so I would just say, one, if you're looking at an industry, determine whether or not, do your research. Do your research, determine if you have something. I always say you can never go wrong if you're solving a problem. So if you're solving a problem with what you are starting, that's a great place to start. Connect with organizations like ours and do it not necessarily without fear, but in spite of fear. So don't allow the fear to stop you. Just move past it and keep it going, and execute. So this season, and I said it last year we called it the it's time to execute. We actually did a whole training on execution. And then I say this season is a season of action, because at the end of the day, you can take as much training and as much empowerment courses and sit in under somebody for 4 and 5 hours, but if you don't put action behind that, you've wasted your time.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. So where do we find you for those that want to become a member? Because,
So, of course, you can find us. Our website is www.scwibga.org. We are on social media, Southern Crescent Women in Business. We have several chapters they're all on social media as well. Henry County Women in Business, Fayette County Women in Business, and Clayton/DeKalb Women in Business. I am Ariel Shaw on social media, Ariel Shaw MBA, and I'm pretty accessible. I don't know where you can't find me. So definitely connect, make sure. I'll say this, in 2022 and even in 2021, we saw a huge transference of wealth. I really can't stress that enough, especially as it relates to minority-owned businesses. So as a woman, you technically still fall under minority. Now, the goal is to make sure that you're putting yourself in a position to win and to connect. There are a lot of resources that are coming down the pipeline, whether it's from your federal, your local, your state. Get plugged in. That is the best thing I can tell you. I'll hear people say they didn't know about opportunities, and then I always ask, who are you connected to? What organizations are you connected with? Because I can assure you, anyone that's connected with us have found out about the funds, which are still coming down the pipeline as it relates to support for businesses, period.
Yeah. And that's super important. That's super important. And a lot of times, we don't know what we don't know. So definitely, it sounds like getting connected with an organization like yours is the way to go.
Absolutely.
Because, as a business owner myself, I know that there were a lot of things that I learned the hard way because I know I wasn't plugged into the right resources.
Mm, yeah,
Absolutely.
it makes a world of a difference in addition
Yeah,
to having a mentor or a program that offers some sort of mentoring.
absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank
It's
you.
been amazing. I'm definitely going to be looking into this because I feel like those resources could definitely help even myself out. So, for anybody else out there that's watching, yeah.
All right. Well, I appreciate Sheen. I appreciate you for plugging us. And Sheen Magazine has been such a great support and partner of ours. I just love Miss Kimberly. I know she's kind of transitioning, to just founder and allowing her family to come in and take the reins of that. But I mean, when you're looking at a boss, Miss Kimberly is definitely one.
Yeah, for
So
sure.
again, I appreciate Sheen Magazine. Thank you guys all. You guys are always supporting Southern Crescent Women in Business. And if there's ever anything that we can do, definitely, let us know.